Hello, everyone. We are live. We are talking about the company you keep will what? What'll happen with the company you keep? Today, I've got an awesome guest. Today, our director of sales, Shiam Moose. So, Shiam, you go ahead and say hello, and I'm going to go and make sure we are live and we're functioning everywhere. So, go ahead and take it away.
Hello. Yes. Hi, everybody. And it's always such a privilege to be here. And I really enjoy these conversations. And I know it's going to be an exciting conversation because it always is. And I really love this topic about the company you keep because it's a very important topic. And a lot of times we don't even realize it, but this is going to be amazing. So, you want to be able to watch this and take notes.
Okay, I am checking to make sure that we are live on this side and it's working.
It's
Yay!
working. Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really fantastic. So come online, come say hello, comment below, and let's talk and really get into this conversation of the company you keep. My name is Fatima Omar Kamisa, and I'm excited to bring this conversation to you. I am the creative founder of Million Stars Academy, where we equip women with the templates, the guides, and the mindset training to be seen, deliver her message so she can create an extraordinary coaching business that she loves. Right here, we always consider ourselves to be officially unemployable because we create our own economy. So let's get right into the topic. The company you keep will. What is that thing that you want to add to the end of the sentence? Right? So I've got one for you, and then I'm going to ask Fiam, and I'm going to ask you, all of you ladies, to contribute your ideas. So the company you keep will either make you or break you. Okay? That's the one I came up with. Xiang, you
Oh my
tell
gosh.
me, how would you fill in that blank? The company you keep will.
Well, I have to tell you, I had those exact words in my mind. I read it.
So I stole your words. I just
You
like it
just
when
yeah, you just stole the words right out of my head. But yes, absolutely, that it will define who you are as a person and how you show up. So
yeah,
definitely.
right, right. And I read another quote and it went like this: you will be judged by the company you keep. Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the fact that you work for a certain company or whether it's your family or the colleagues. I mean, you remember us being in high school, and I know, we've got kids. Now,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this right now and you have kids, I'm going to tell you high school is a terrible place. Okay?
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Remember, we used to label people. Those kids outside near the garbage cans who are smoking. Okay? Right? Our
Yeah.
parents were terrified we would connect ourselves with those kids who were smokers, right? Or those nerds in the biology club, right? So it's who the company that you keep. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Shiam. Tell me what you're bringing to the table when it comes to the company you keep. I know this was your idea to talk about.
Yes, it was, and I had, and you're bringing up such a important time, which is high school, and for me, when I'm looking back at it now, it really was such a big thing back then, like who you are, who you hanging around with, and I remember I was telling my kids the other day the story is that, so our second language is Afrikaans here in South Africa, and English being the first language, so I come from an English speaking background and we moved to an Afrikaans speaking area. So this school only had one English class every grade had one English class because it was predominantly Afrikaans. So they only made available one English class per grade. And you know, we were, because obviously all of us were English in the class, we were labeled as the snobby kids because
Yeah, yeah.
automatically English,
That's
and we were favored, and this was this is really what they thought about us and even told us. And So that is such a classical example of the company you keep, and just because you hanging around with a certain bunch of people, you labeled, that you are this type of person as well. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I was listening to one of my mentors, and he said, if four of your friends are crooks, you will be the fifth crook.
yeah,
If four of your friends are on a diet, you will go on a diet, right? If four of your friends go to all you can eat buffets and stuff themselves and drink on the weekends, and we just wait for Friday because we're going to crash, you will be the fifth.
yeah,
Okay. If four of your friends are millionaires and investing in real estate and creating an amazing portfolio, you will be the fifth. Okay.
yep,
If four of your friends generated 76,000 in 10 days, you will be the fifth. That's
yep,
just how life works, right? If four of your friends are criminals, you will be the fifth criminal.
yep.
Okay.
That's absolutely true.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I like to do this exercise on the people that I surround myself with. And it's like, it's not just about your bank account. If four of your friends are married, you'll be the fifth one. If four of your friends are divorced, you'll be the fifth one.
Yeah.
So categorize and look at the people around you. So what is their bank account? And maybe you don't know their exact bank account, but
Mm.
you know if they're struggling or if they're doing well, right?
Yes.
Look at their marriage life, look at their children, look at their attitude.
Yeah.
And four of your friends are gossipers and blamers and whiners and victims. Ta-da! What do you think you will be? You will be the fifth whiner, victim, complainer,
Yeah.
blaming other people for things that don't work out, right? So it's so, so important. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Shiam. What are you going to bring? What do you want to tell us about this topic?
Well, I just want to say that I'm sure we'll be blowing a lot of people's minds right now, because I remember the first time when I heard this and I realized, oh my gosh, it's true. The people I associated with, I was around a lot. I was beginning to pick up traits and from them, and it wasn't always the best traits, and that is why, especially in the corporate environment that I was in, it was a toxic environment. So I was, starting to become like the people that I was working with, because if you're working, that is the time you spend the most. During the day, you spend what, 8 hours with these people. So it's only natural that you pick up one of, some of their traits, or the people that you hang out the most with. And that for me was, when I heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, I chose to be around these people, and I actually started picking up the traits. And I know that we always have a quote that we say that you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. And this to me is really, for me, it's a mind-blowing thing to think about. And I remember when we were younger, we our parents always told us, be careful who you choose to spend your time with, be careful who you hang around with,
And
because
we thought, what do they know anyway? They're
exactly,
old people.
we're going to do what the opposite, what they tell us to do, we're going to do the opposite, right? So we from young, we were being told that, but we didn't pay attention. And I realize now how powerful it really is to be surrounded by the right type of people. And I mean, our group alone, when we have our team meetings, it's phenomenal, because I'm surrounded by phenomenal women who really support and uplift each other, even inside of the academy. And I really love that. And that is why I'm greedy to have any type of call or meeting, because I want to surround myself constantly with people who's going to be positive, who's going to support each other, and who's really going to, bring me up and make me a better person than what I am, to show up for. So I
Yeah,
completely,
I agree.
agree.
I was
Yeah,
I was looking for a club I could belong to that was spiritual, soulful
yeah,
women that could uplift me and feel positive all the time. And I couldn't really find something that really matched me. So I just created the academy. And now
yes,
we're surrounded by amazing women making a difference, making money, and lifting each other up all of the time.
yes,
Even when you look at religious figures, it doesn't matter what religion you're looking at, and you look at the greatest men that walk the face of the earth and the greatest women that walk the face of the earth, they also talked about this idea of surrounding yourself with
Yes.
good people, right? Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, peace be upon all of them, they were our mentors. And one of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is if your friend is a perfumery, okay, so he's a guy who sells perfume,
Mm-hmm.
and you walk into his store, you're going to come out and your clothing will smell beautiful.
Yeah.
And if your friend is someone who works with fire, right? So they would always use analogies of animals and things that they made out of steel back 1400 years ago.
Yeah.
So if your friend was someone who worked with fire, your clothing is going to have holes in it. And think about the analogy of that. So who you
Yeah.
surround yourself with is who you become. So show me 5 of your closest friends that you spend the most amount of time with, and I will show you who you are,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I want to actually talk about what happens when we put ourselves in positions of negative people. You can call it whatever you want. You can say toxic people, pessimists, losers, people who are naysayers, dream stealers, whatever name you like to use,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and use it. So I actually made a list of
Awesome.
a few things that might happen in your world when you surround yourself with these people.
Yeah.
Because a pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Think about that,
Yeah. Wow.
right? So if
Wow.
you surround yourself with pessimists, they're going to see difficulty in every opportunity. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. My coach did this. My husband did this. Blah, 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 blah. And an optimist will see an opportunity in every difficulty. Oh, no one liked my video. Let's go see what's going on. This didn't work. Let's go figure it out. This is missing in my business. Who can I hire?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you how a pessimist looks through the lens if you are surrounding yourself with. And I want you, if you're listening to this, see which one you recognize. No judgment. It's just let's, look and see where we are. So
Yeah.
it's almost
Yeah.
like you're in a mall and you got lost. And when you go, you're just looking for that direction and it says you are here, the red zone.
Yes.
Right? So a pessimist sees the problem in every opportunity. So they judge something before they try it. Oh, I don't want to try that food because, I'm a fish kind of person and you're giving me a vegetable, for example, right? They see negativity in every positivity. They are scared of abundance. They see, like, if somebody says something, oh my God, they're after me. Oh my God, they're going to do an evil eye. Oh my God, the other people are lucky. It's not for me. What do you say about that, Shia?
Well, I really, everything that you said is spot on, because people are perceived about, people perceive you based on the actions and the company you keep. So that's definitely, spot on with that points that you gave there, because it does really make you stand out, in whatever way you want to stand out, depending on who you keep in the company with. And for me, it's better to be, I read a saying somewhere, it's better to be alone than in the wrong company. So,
Yes, yes,
choose the company, choose your best friends, because that is the people that the people in your closest circle, that is the people with the most influence. And so you want to make sure that those people are people who is going to add value to your life, and who's going to uplift you in a positive way, rather than the other way around. So you really want to be very careful who you choose to be in that circle. And I know I watched something with where a celebrity, I can't remember who the celebrity is, where he was saying the more famous you get, the smaller your circle becomes, because there's only a small amount of people who's really going to look out for you, and really, be the type of people that you want to associate with, because obviously as a celebrity, the camera is always on you, so you always need to make sure that you're putting the right foot forward. So, and I when I heard that, I was like, that such a such a phenomenal thing to hear, because why this is a celebrity, such a simple example, but it really is how they are, looked under this microscopic lens. So everything, who they talk to, what they eat, everything is being watched. So really, the company you keep is utmost importance for their careers and their celebrity status as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Such a good, amazing example.
Yeah.
Here's the next one about the people around you, right? Notice if this kind of person is around you and you are surrounding yourself with this kind of person, they pass the buck. What does that mean? It means they are so low on the fuel of self esteem, they lack the confidence to achieve anything in life. So they are a victim, they're a prisoner. And life is inflicting cruelty on them. Excuse me. The mob mentality, everyone's against me. My husband's against me. My life's against me. My coach is against me. My children are against me. The government's against me. They are a victim of every
Yeah.
circumstance. Nobody phoned me. I'm alone, right? They blame the world for their failure. So, have you ever seen or met a character like that?
Oh my gosh, I definitely have. I definitely have. And the funny part about that, Fatima, is that it filters down to all areas of your life. And that is the part that you want to watch out for, because you at work, example, at work, you in this toxic environment, you're surrounded by these people 8 hours a day, and you start, taking from their traits, their negative ways, and now you go home, and now that's
You're
now
now,
part
you
of
know what?
you.
You're going to vomit all of that
Exactly.
poison on your family,
On my
on the
family.
people you love the most.
Exactly. And my kids are going to see this, and they're going to mirror my behavior, and I'm just setting this loop with I'm just passing this on to my kids, and it's just going in a loop all over again. So
Yeah.
you definitely want to make sure that you are aware of these things, especially when you a parent, and whatever you do, these kids are watching what you do, your behavior, and they're mirroring that in their own behavior and how they grow up, and take that forward as adults.
Yeah, you come up with a really, really, really good point. I think a lot of times we forget that our mouth is not the biggest organ to shove things in, okay?
Yeah.
Food and drink and whatever it is. But our skin and our psychology is actually sucking and absorbing all of this negativity, whether it's a family member, a child, a work, a colleague, a coach. You got to be careful. Even people inside of your coaching programs, you got to be careful who you allow into your programs,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
there will be the negative Nellies and the dream stealers who will get under the wire, and one rotten apple will completely make the entire bowl rotten,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So there are those characters. Okay, here we go. Here's another character. You ready, Chia?
I'm ready.
That character who use antagonistic phrases. Okay, they're like, it's not my job. I don't have to do that. Why do I have to do that? I'm not responsible for that. That's someone
Oh,
else's job to do. Why are you asking me to do that? Okay,
oh
have
my
you
gosh,
seen
yes.
that kind of character?
I have. When I was working, I remember working with this woman, and she's been at this company much longer than me, but she was in the same position that she was in when she started. And I always wondered, like, she was always complaining about she wasn't being treated right. And then I said to her, but why don't you apply for a promotion or anything? And as I got to know her, I realized that she was exactly one of those people. No, it's not my job to do this. No, I don't want to do this, not part of my job description. And I realized that, you know you're sabotaging yourself, really, because no one's going to give you a promotion to someone who is only going to do the minimum that is required of them, and they're not going to care about, helping out or showing that I am capable of doing more. So they're not going to give you more. And it was just mind blowing. I'm like, you are really sabotaging yourself and complaining that no one is giving you a promotion, but you're only doing the bare minimum in your own job. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? That's such a great example. Okay, here we go. Here is another character. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This character is hooked on cable, lottery, drugs, all of those kind of things. So they're squandering their time watching dramas on television, watching things that, are completely meaningless, wasting their time. And they want to get this instant gratification. Oh my God, if I watch keeping up with the whatever the new hot family is, right? I can buy a lottery. I'm going to get rich overnight,
Yeah.
and I know that my luck is about to change and I'm about to go to the casino and this is going to happen and let's go, and then they get so excited for that one day. Friday night is coming. I'm going to Netflix and chill. I'm going to go to the gambling. I'm going to do this and I'm going to get rich by Monday. Da 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 da. Right? You're laughing over there.
I'm laughing because I'm remembering a meme that I saw. And I'm gonna get this completely wrong, but it's about people, a group of characters that wants to lose weight. So they come up together and they tell each other that we're going to start exercising, and they're like, okay, yes, we're gonna go start exercising. We're gonna start on Monday, and then the one character tells them what tomorrow's Monday. And they're like, no, next Monday.
Yes.
So that just came to my mind when you were telling that. It's so
It's
funny.
always
But
next week,
it's always next week.
right?
Yeah,
Or
it's
it's
always.
always someday.
Yes.
And I often say, when someone tells me that, and I go,
I
okay,
know.
great. Where That's not on the calendar. I'm looking at my calendar. I don't find someday. I don't find next week. You know, give me a date,
Yeah.
give me a time, right?
Yes.
And so really, really awesome. Okay. Do you have something for me over there so you can show you want to share until I go to the next one?
So I like I said, you are who you surrounded are. That's the type of person. And I've got a nice quote that says, "Surround yourself with people that reflect who you want to be and how you want to feel. Energies are contagious." And I saw this quote and I was like, this really sums up everything, because we don't look at energies. We don't take, because it's something that we don't necessarily see, we disregard it. But for this is such an important quote, because you really want to surround yourself with people who have, positive energies, and it's very, very important to look out for that.
Wow, so, so, so important. And I actually have some characters that we can surround ourselves with, but I also have a couple more to tell you about the naysayers.
Yeah.
And before I even get to the rest of my list, I want to make sure that every single person here understands that they can surround themselves by amazing people, because this Friday we are having the best thing of 2021, aren't we, Shia?
Yes. Oh my God. It's so exciting. I always I'm like a small child when it comes to these things, because I know the value that's in there. And I go in there with such an open mind, because I know there's something new that I'm going to learn. And that is what excites me the most. And not to mention the people that I'm going to be surrounded with. So definitely a junkie for all of these retreats.
Yeah, so actually, Shyam, this brings us to really something amazing. You were actually not with Fatima Omar International. I didn't know you from Adam or Eve.
That's right.
And last year, you actually came through on one of our launches,
Yep.
as a stranger,
Yep.
right?
I
And
did.
that entire experience, tell us a little bit about how this changed your world, your life, your exposure. And today you're actually in my inner circle.
I am. It's unbelievable. All the time I have to remind myself about my journey, because it seems like it's such a long time away, but it's actually not that long, a long time that I've been there. And I remember the first time when I was introduced to this, I was like, okay, my sister introduced me. She said to me, you need to listen to this, because I was at that point where I needed to do something different. I was very, very determined to do something different. And she said to me, go to this workshop, just listen to it and let me know what you think. And I remember being in the first workshop, the first day at least, and I was like, okay, this is, I loved the energy. It was motivating. It was very inspirational. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow and watch the second day. And I must say, by the second day, I was completely hooked, because it was every single answer to every single question I ever asked about wanting to do something differently, and wanting to really become my own boss and be that entrepreneur that I never thought I would able to, have the opportunity to be. And so to say that launch changed my life is really an understatement, because it transformed me personally. It gave me the opportunity to be in the inner circle where I am right now, being surrounded by phenomenal women. And what I took away from that, I always say that my personal transformation is probably the most valuable thing for me, because I know where I started from and I know the journey that I've come across. But the fact that I'm able to now be an entrepreneur, be my own boss, and not have to go back to any toxic environments, that to me is just the cherry on top of everything. And the valuable, transformation that I got out of that is priceless. Is really priceless.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we have you in our inner circle, right? Because
Yes.
you came on, and it's such an honor and a privilege to see how
My
you've
pleasure.
grown
Yeah.
and how you show up as a wife, as a mother, as a businesswoman, and now you're the sales director. I mean, you are unrecognizable, and
Yeah.
it all was because one thing you did was show up for you,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
I remember you sharing a story with your daughters, and they were like, "We haven't seen you laugh in such a long time." And you are the youngest in your siblings, so you were a
Yes.
little bit of a naughty. And as you grew up and became an adult, you forgot about that aliveness and the joking, because
Yes.
life became
Yes.
so serious and responsible.
Yes.
And
No,
now they get to
absolutely.
have all of their mother to see you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My kids tell me on a daily basis, "You're so crazy. What's wrong with you?" Because I love pulling pranks on them. So, my husband says to me a lot of times, you're supposed to be the mother. What's going on with you? And I'm like, they just make it too easy for me, Fatima. I can't pass this
You can.
opportunity.
It's so fun though, right?
It is. And, I miss this about myself. I miss that,
Mm.
that, that about myself, where I really had to, when I discovered that this is really who I am, that serious person with all the negative things going on in their life, before I started this, that was really not me. And I can't believe
Because
that.
you were in that toxic environment.
Yes,
And
yes, I
then
was.
and because you're such a nice person and you're so kind, you just took it all on, and it became heavy and
Yeah, it
sad.
did. It did. It did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now you're unleashed.
I'm unleashed, and I must say, just want to say that my health at that time was the worst. I mean, I was constantly on medication, and I was constantly
Wow.
at the doctor, and I did I did nothing, medically different, other than transform myself and my environment. And I don't have to. I don't know when last I've seen the doctor, and I hardly use medication. Besides my vitamins and things like that, but it's just that alone as an example of what the two differences is in environments and circumstances alone is amazing.
So
I
powerful.
feel healthier, absolutely. And you don't realize that your health is affected just by a mindset. And that is very, very powerful.
And you're a testimony. You're living and breathing this to
Yeah.
say, I was taking this many medications and now
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, that is evidence. That's proof,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Your husband is proof. Like, who's this woman? This is the girl I married, right? Your
Yeah.
children get to see a different person. I mean, it's just the evidence is astonishing,
Yeah.
absolutely astonishing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing that. So
My
let's get
pleasure.
right back into my list. Okay, here is
Yes.
another negative person. This person is constantly seeking approval from others. Okay, they want you to say, "Oh, you're so amazing, so amazing." When you say, "What movie do you want to say?" "What do you want to see? What do you want to see?" Because they don't want to take responsibility. And I was that girl. I remember.
Yeah.
Because in case I said, let's go see a certain movie and you didn't like the movie, you're going to blame me. And I don't want to take any responsibility. And so, if you're surrounding yourself with that kind of person, or maybe you're doing too much people pleasing, ask yourself what's really going on
Yeah.
underneath. Can you relate to that, Shia?
Absolutely. My husband was used to be so annoyed with me when it was time for, if we wanted to go and eat out somewhere, and then he'll ask me, "Where do you want to go to?" And I'm always going to say, "I don't know. What do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to eat?" And he would always get annoyed because I would, pass the buck to him and, make him responsible for making that kind of decisions. And it's different now. And now and again, I still make him choose, but it's definitely different now because I'm more aware that, I'm not going to be that people pleaser just to make people happy. And like you, I was definitely the worst people pleaser that you can find, because I wanted people to like me, and I wanted people, I wanted to be accepted, as a peer. And so definitely I would be the yes, I can do it, yes, I will do it type of person.
Yeah. And so, ladies, if you're listening to this and you're saying, wow, I have a little bit of that in me, I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, I was that person.
Yeah.
But I want you to go a little bit further and ask yourself, as a people pleaser who doesn't want to take responsibility because I keep on seeking approval from other people, how does that affect me as a coach? Now I've got clients, and guess what I do? I take that people pleasing quality everywhere I go. I'm like that with my husband. I'm like that with the passport control officer. I'm like that with my clients. And guess what? Your clients now start running a racket around you, and you
Yeah.
don't know how to hold a fort. You don't know how to be able to deliver. You don't know how to show up. You don't know how to have those conversations, powerful, transformative conversations. They're affecting you in every area of your life. So just check and see. No judgment,
Absolutely.
because that's the only way we get to move forward. If we go, wow, that's actually really happening.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm attracting a certain kind of client. I'm getting the certain kind of, results.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's absolutely that's so spot on, Fatima. I know that right at the beginning, of my journey, I would speak to people and I would just allow them to, cross all boundaries. And because I wanted to, wanted them to feel heard, I wanted them to be happy, and I would have no boundaries. And I would feel at the end of the day like, oh my God, I was taking on everybody's things because they were just offloading and I wasn't setting any boundaries. And I could see it in the people that I was talking to, the clients that was coming through, and I realized that this is not going to serve me. I cannot run a business this way, and in order for me to get my business right, I need to get my own mindset right, and let that filter through to the business as well.
Wow. Wow. Well, Shiam has said the best thing on this call. To get my business right, I had to get my mindset right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it always comes back to me. If my marriage is not working, check what's going on. My
Yeah.
children are misbehaving, check what's going on with me. It's always that conversation in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And so what kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? And I made a list of 4.
Okay.
Okay, Shyam, what about you? What kind of people do you want to surround yourself with?
I want to surround myself with positive people, with, smart people, with people who is going to support me and uplift me, people who is not going to judge me, but rather encourage me and motivate me in everything that I do, and I want to be that type of person that can reciprocate all of those things to the people that I surround myself with as well.
I love it. I love it. So, ladies, why don't you tell us what kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? Okay, what kind of people? Go ahead and put it in the comments here. I want to pull up your comment and put it on the screen here for us. Excuse me. What kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? What is that ideal person? So right away, I can tell you, people often say to me, you're making money, you're making a difference. You went from welfare mom to global influencer, 8 times best-selling author. You've got this amazing business. Your kids are doing well. Why do you keep on paying money to coaches and putting yourself in a new coaching program? Why? You got it all. Like, this is it, right? You've now, and I say, absolutely no way, never.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the first one that came up for me was, I always surround myself with people who are smarter than me. That's why I have you, Shyam, you, and Priya. I have you guys around me. And I hire coaches and mentors who have done things I haven't done yet.
Yes.
Because if I'm the smartest little chicky poo in the room, what am I learning?
Nothing.
Zilch, zero, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Because growth never, ever happens when I'm comfortable, does it?
Nope, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
That's why it's called Netflix and chill. Because you can just sit back, chill out, and be yourself and slide down the mountain of growth and empowerment. That's what it is. You're sliding down. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right? But if you want to grow, you got to put on the gear, get on the mountain, get the ice pick, because it's actually climbing the Everest, and it's cold, and it's very little oxygen, and it's tiring, and it's exhausting, and the road up here is empty. Let me tell you, there's no traffic jams, because the 97% of the world are where? At the bottom, looking up and telling us what to do and what not to do, because they're the spectators.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
What do you think, Shyam?
Something just popped in my mind. Like, I've always heard the phrase, "You've got to be in it to win it," and that's definitely another very well said phrase, because you got to want to do something differently. Surround yourself with the type of person that you want to become. And like you said, you get the coach every year, you get a new coach, because if they've achieved something and that is what you want to achieve, you're going to surround yourself with people who's already achieved it, so that you can get to that level, and then move on to the next coach that can then further enhance what you can do. And that's definitely where the track that you want to be on.
Yeah. I mean, I love what you said. You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
What is the different conversation? What kind of sports do you watch or attend? In South Africa, I know tennis is big, rugby is big, right? What do you like to watch?
I'll actually watch a rugby game, and I'll watch like soccer, the international soccer.
So let's go to soccer, because I don't know anything about rugby. So let's go to soccer, which is called football in the UK, right? But in Canada, we say soccer. In South Africa, we say soccer. Yeah. But I know Manchester United, it's all football. So, but it's the same game. Yeah. Now, what's the difference between sitting in the bleachers, sitting in the stands, buying a ticket and watching? Right? So Faria says she watches cricket. So if I'm in the stands and I am outside, I'm like the, what do they call those people sitting there? They call them the peanut gallery.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? So the peanut gallery is always telling the players what to do. So what are some of the things the peanut gallery would be saying? Hey, that crooks. You're the worst, right?
Yeah, no, do it the other way.
Do it the other way, right? The peanut gallery, us who bought the ticket, always
Yes,
have the most
the
amount
most.
of say. But how much
Absolutely.
action are we taking?
Nothing.
We're just stuffing ourselves with popcorn and
Yeah.
nachos and food and chips and drinks and screaming our heads off. And you know, the only people that can hear us is the guy sitting in front of us because we made him deaf,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right.
Okay, so you
they
said
walk
you got
away.
to be in it to win it.
Yes.
Now, if you are a player, what's your conversation? What are you having? You're saying, I'm open. I'm open.
Yeah.
Send the
Yeah.
ball over here.
Yeah, I want to play the game, I want to
And
make
you
a
running.
difference. Yes, I'm going to do
Are
what I
you
can
talking?
to. No, I'm not talking, I'm taking action.
That's right.
I don't have time to talk. I've got to take action.
Yeah, you're not busy
Yeah.
stuffing your mouth with
No.
food
No,
and
no, no.
and all kinds of things and yelling at all the other players. You're just busy, like, get the ball. Let's go
Yeah.
for the goal.
Yeah.
That's the
Absolutely.
difference between what you just said. You got to be in it to win it, or
Yes.
you're a spectator shoving food in your mouth, yelling, complaining, and swearing the players.
Yeah. And walking away with nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the difference between being a spectator in life
Yeah.
and being in the game.
Absolutely.
Right? Nobody actually knows what the game is all about until you put your food down, roll up your sleeves, and come on down. Come down to the bottom. Play with us. Get your
Yeah.
knees dirty.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so here are a couple of things that I have said. So for me, it's about the being. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room ever. There's
Yes.
also other things I look for in people I want to surround myself with. I look for dreamers because you see, dreamers are so busy dreaming about their future, they don't care about their history.
Yes.
Because people who are stuck in their past don't dream.
Yes.
They don't
Absolutely.
dream. So I like to be around dreamers. And the last category that I like to be around, can I tell you?
Yes.
I like to be around inquisitive people. People
Yes.
who ask questions, people who are curious, people who want to know more, people who, they ask a lot of questions, they go to a lot of things, they read a lot of books. They're like, I want to know, I want to know, I want to know all the time because they're
Yes.
hungry.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
hungry for something. And what do you say?
I completely get that, and it reminds me of I tell my daughters all the time at school, ask questions in the class. If you want to know something, if you're not sure, ask questions, because a teacher, someone, or teacher, coach, whatever, loves a person who asks questions because they want to know. They want to better themselves. So be part of that circle that asks the questions, that's constantly looking for the answer, and wanting to know more, instead of my one daughter who just sits in class, and she the comment that one teacher said to me now was, I haven't heard her speak in class yet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not my child.
That's not my child.
That's not my child. And I said to him, you know what, I'm always having this conversation because I understand now how important it is to speak up, to ask questions, to find the knowledge, and don't just take for granted. I don't want to ask the question, what are they going to think? And that is now, what really is what I'm focusing on with my kids is ask questions, learn. And if you want to know something, ask the question, or go to someone that can help you if I can't help you. But never sit there and give up just because you don't want to ask that question.
Well, yeah, exactly. What is the opposite of curiosity and being inquisitive? It's being resigned, giving up on
Exactly.
life, right?
Exactly.
We all have that old auntie or that old uncle who sits there with their arms crossed over. I
Yeah.
know, I know, I know. We all know that person,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
They're so cynical.
Yeah,
And they
absolutely.
know the answers to everything all the time about life,
Yes.
future, past. You know, And when we become rigid like that, there's no room or opening for
Yeah.
new amazing information to come
Yeah.
through. That's the one thing that's very different about our program that's coming up.
Yes.
Okay. Coaching to Millions, right? We put up a post saying we generated $76,000 in 10 days, and our
Yes.
post blew up. I think we had more than 500 people comment on it
Yes.
and sign it. But the most important thing that we're going to be bringing this weekend are strategies and tactics and mindsets that you need in the post 2019 era.
Yeah.
Okay? The post 2019 era, whatever strategy you were using prior to 2019, I got to tell you, my gorgeous women, it's not working anymore.
No.
It's not working, right? It's
No.
not working.
No.
You
No.
need to update, upgrade, improve, create a new environment, learn the new strategies so you can get the results. Because I can promise you, if you are using strategies and tactics that were used before 2019 and you were getting results, they're not working anymore, are they?
No. No.
They're not.
No, they're not.
The world has completely transformed. And like your phone that needs an upgrade software, you need an upgrade in your strategy and your marketing because you are probably an amazing coach. You probably get amazing results, but the strategies, the marketing, the exposure have changed. The way we do things has changed, and you need relevant, up to date best practices for today. What do you say, Shyam?
I completely agree. And I know that, with the group, with our academy, that is the one thing we always strive for, is to be up to date, to have the relevant content and solutions out there so that you don't get left behind. And I completely agree. Post 2019, that is just, it's like another universe ago. An alternate universe where, everything that we were doing back then. I speak to women all the time, and they're saying that, they've got to try new things now because they need to go online, because their business used to be where it's one-on-one, face to face, and now that's not working anymore. So they need to evolve, and they need to, get online and try different things. So I completely agree that you need to always be relevant and change up what you do in order to be successful.
Yeah, yeah. So, ladies, if you're a woman, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you want to be a coach, you're coming from HR, your job is on the line because of different mandates that are happening in your country, you have something important to share with the world. You're a freelancer or a network marketer, a woman that is called to make a difference. Coaching to Millions, the Queen Method, is the answer to what you've been looking for, right? So we're all starting on Friday. The entire program starts Friday. The excitement is building. You got to put
Yeah.
on your seatbelts. The workbook is coming out tomorrow. You want to get your hands on that. And tomorrow we have our orientation call. So the orientation is the prerequisite to get your mind, your body, your environment ready for this amazing thing that is coming your way. So you want to click the link inside of there, register, get inside of the Facebook group, and show up. Show up. Shia?
Yes. Absolutely. And tomorrow, it's like we just giving you the tip of the iceberg to make sure that on Friday you are ready for action and ready to move forward. And it's going to be a phenomenal time. Like, I remember my first time and all the other times afterwards, and it excites me every single time. I know it's going to be a valuable experience and a very, very exciting experience. So
So
I look
good.
forward to meeting all these ladies.
Click the link, and we're going to see you inside. Have a beautiful day.
Bye bye.